Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. My name is Leticia and welcome to the channel. And today we're in for a great one. Well, at least I love this topic. I love talking about that. How to actually evolve your style. Actually and finally create a signature look. You can do it. We can do it. We're gonna do it together. And if you're interested on it, keep watching. So I do need some coffee right now. Oh boy. So if you're watching this, I'm just gonna take a wild guess, but say that you are interested in style and in creating your own style or maybe lapidating it, evolving it into a new style. We just talk about life changes that might wanna push you into having to work a little bit more on that front. And now we're talking about how to, self-discover, like how to pull it out of the depth here from the inside. What is it that you want? What is it that would make you happy? How do you want to look? How do you want to portray yourself to the world? We already talked about that in another video too. I will link everything up. But the style journey is a constant journey because we're changing all the time. Like we said in the other video, like our lives are always changing, our body is always changing, we're always aging. Those things just don't stop. Life doesn't just stop. Things are always moving and transforming into something else. So our style has to keep up. And sometimes that happens to the best of us. We just stopped caring for a while, or we didn't have mental capacity to keep changing and paying attention to our wardrobe, and suddenly we're here and we looked behind her like, oh my god, that's not who I am anymore, that's not who I want to be. Or maybe sometimes changes can be very fast too. Anyways, you're gonna have to look inside again and do a little bit of self-discovering journey to identify where do you want to go, to understand your own preferences, your own tastes, what makes you feel comfortable, confident, so it can support you in your daily life. Your wardrobe is a tool and it can go either way. If you want to go the past way, you have to pay a little attention to it. So my first tip, and I've been saying that, daily outfit journaling. Yes, you heard me right. I'm giving you homework, but watch out. It's homework for your own good. Really, it's for yourself. Keeping a journal of what you wear every day can be a savior because it serves for so many purposes. I'm not gonna talk about all of that because this video is gonna be like 1 hour long. We are trying to condensate information here a little bit. I am asking you to do it for your own benefit, but I also do that. So I know how much work it takes. Believe me. I've been doing that for years now. I stopped for like a couple of months because life changes, things happen, and that's okay. And then I kept doing it. And it's great for so many reasons. First of all, you can look back and see how your style evolved, how your body evolved. Everything that happened is almost like journal. Wow. Well, that's very insightful. Well, it's a journal. It is. Well, that's what it is. Anyways, it's a memoir. And now it's for much fancier. It's a memoir of everything. So you can look back and reflect on things. You can even remember things that happened. And reflect on your style too, if that's what you want. Most importantly, you can look at what you like and what you don't like, analyzing your style. What I want you to take from it is, look at those photos. Okay, so first of all, you don't have to be like, oh, I never did that before. I have like 0 photos on myself. What do I do now? So I just throw away everything. No, you can do that for a couple of weeks or even a month and then stop and analyze your photos. Nothing stopping you to do that, right? But you can also try to look, if you're a person that usually takes a lot of pictures when you go out and you can see the outfits in your body properly, you can look at like random photos. They might be able to give you some tips, but I suspect you might not have enough photos for that. That's why I say keep a journal of photos where you like literally you go out there and pose, like look at my outfit. You can even make short videos. You prefer to see yourself 360, it might be easier for you. You might get the feeling better. Whatever is your jam, do it. But after you have a couple of weeks or a month, you have to pay attention to some things to actually start understanding yourself, what you like, own yourself, and how do you feel good and confident. Is remembering how you felt when you were actually wearing that, because that's one of the first things to make it or break it. Because even if you looked wonderful but you felt horrible, like crap, uncomfortable, like you couldn't move, that's a no. It should be a no. You should be able to be comfortable. You feel confident on your clothing. Your clothes should work for you, not against you, right? Period. If the clothes don't fit you, the problem is with the clothes, not with you. Never with you. Clothes are meant to be an accessory to make we shine, not the other way around. So including notes of how you feel can be very beneficial. Even if it's very like simple notes, you can take a photo with your phone and edit in your own photo app in your phone and just add a simple text like uncomfortable, great, I feel like $1,000,000, oh, I hated this. Whatever it is, in your own words, in your own feelings, just put it out. It's like therapy here. But seriously, it's gonna make you remember. It's gonna make you like, yeah, I don't want to do this again. Or it's like, that's exactly the way to go. Because believe me, the way you're feeling and the way you look to the world can be very different. So it's very good for you to make those notes, because it could be very deceiving. And ideally, you want to balance both, right? You don't want to have it here or here. You don't want to be super uncomfortable but looking nice, or both super comfortable. You want to like have a balance there. Things to look for when you're analyzing the photo itself. Colors. Do I like the colors? Do I like the colors I used individually, or how I match the colors? Do I think it's too much color? Do I think it's too little color? Would I change the colors a little bit and then it would be perfect? How does it make me feel? Does it bring my best coloring, my best side? I know that could be a little hard and very subjective in a way to analyze yourself, say, oh, now I'm shining. For most people, it's not that clear to put a piece of fabric like this and be like, oh, now I look my best version. Like, it's not. And when we're wearing makeup, it's even harder, because the makeup, it's obviously there to make us look better, right? So if we already have the makeup on, it's even harder to read that. And a lot of people say, don't do that with makeup. I mean, if you're gonna use makeup every day, every single day of your life, then whatever, do that with makeup. So the rules that I will say to you now can be very generalistic, but it could help to give you some parameters. So for example, I have dark hair, dark eyebrows, dark eyes, light skin. First thing you see about me is that like high level of contrast, that I'm dark, like I'm not talking about my skin color, but like overall darkness because of what these elements bring to my complexion, to my face, but also the high level of contrast, the dynamic contrast. So if I reproduce that on my clothes, they will harmonize better with me, right? So in the same way, you probably know Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston is a medium blonde, medium thin skin, like a light thin skin, but it gives us the impression that she's all one tone, one coloring. She's muted. If she uses very high contrast, you see the clothes before you see her. So that type of analysis, like when you look at the photo, do you see yourself looking good, or do you see clothes popping at you? That's a good red flag. Maybe you should tone down the colors, or maybe not really tone down, but maybe they are too warm for you or too cool for you. Maybe there's a balance there, and maybe you'll be washed out. You'll be like, I look like thick. Maybe you need more coloring. You need the umph. I know I do. When I wear like all like grays and beiges, it's like slowly die, because it does not match who I am like as a person. It's not about the taste there. Parenthesis here, observation. It's not about your personal taste. We are going to try to mix it up and mash it up and ornate everything, but what we're talking about right now, it's about how you look. Other things to pay attention, color is like one of the easiest ones to flush out if you don't have a lot of practice, but another thing is texture. Sometimes you look good on monochromes, for example. You look good on an all black outfit, but it's lacking something. It's kind of flat, it's like it lacks interest. Maybe it's texture. Maybe if you put a little bit of leather with a little bit of velvet and a little bit of jeans, a little bit of harshness like a linen, I don't know, whatever fabric you want, but that gives a different texture. And when I'm talking about texture, what you see visually, it is texture, but it's usually the finish. So sometimes you can perceive texture as being shiny, as being opaque, as being fluffy, as being a little heavy. Sometimes it gives more structure, sometimes it's more flowy. That type of thing is gonna read as the texture. And once you start doing that, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, you're gonna start realizing what you like. It's gonna be more clear. Every time it's gonna be more clear, and will probably and hopefully push you to experiment a little. Some days you're gonna experiment and you're gonna hate it. I'm just gonna put it out there. It happened to me a lot. I did a lot and do a lot of experimentations that sometimes I'm like, I wanted to try it. I know I look weird, but I'm trying, because you might hit jackpot. You might be like, that's what I want. For example, I would love to look good in colorful tights and ballerina shoes, contrasting with my skirt, and I look absolutely ridiculous. I tried using black tights with black skirt and a yellow ballerina shoe, and I look absolutely hideous on that. But some girls look lovely, like very cute, like a doll. So it depends. Like, people are different. Tastes are also different. So do experimentations and you won't regret it. You might regret it a day, but then you're gonna learn from it. So it's gonna be worth it. Tips for taking the photos. We already talked about that in the other video, but if you're here and you're new now, try to use more or less the same pose, a pose that actually allows people yourself, because you're the only one that has to analyze the photos. I mean, if you want to share, whatever, but you don't have to. Analyze that. So pictures that you can see clearly your face, like how good you look, your body, how other people would perceive you, and the fabric, what you're wearing. Because if you take pictures that are very in an angle like that, like, so that's not how people look at you, so that's not how they will perceive you, that's not how you will be seeing the photo. So what are you actually analyzing? Try to take it like, you know, eye level, maybe a little bit tilt down. If you're shorty, it's probably very realistic, like me, people are looking down on me. And try to do, you know, natural poses, things that you do every day. You can try for a little, you know, flattering angles and all, but if you do too much, it's not gonna be realistic. So you're gonna think that everything makes you look great, and then when you actually see yourself in real photos out there in the world, you'll be like, that does not look great. So try not to sabotage and fake it, because it's for your own good, right? And once you do that, you will identify favorites. Yay! We won. No, wait, we are winning, but we're not in the end of our journey, okay? It's good to mark those favorites somehow. So maybe just create a new folder on your cell phone, really. You don't need to get very fancy, okay? Maybe just hoard them, move them into the favorite folder, just do something to make it clear that those are your favorites, and you will start noticing you probably have uniforms. What I mean by uniform is not the uniform you wear to school, okay? Is what are your go-tos. So a lot of people are jeans and t-shirt uniform people. That's great. Once you notice that, perfect. One of my uniforms is like a mini skirt and a fitted top. I like that. I feel comfortable in that. That brings me from summer to winter and back again. I use that every season. And once you identify that, you got it. It's easy peasy, because you can just buy variations on that. And when you feel venturous, you can go a little bit out of your comfort zone and try different things. But identifying your favorites, it's key here. So your favorites will ideally feel like you will feel comfortable, you feel like yourself, you feel pretty, you feel good. You have to analyze like what are the sparks me joy, like that's how, you know, I like it, I feel good. And don't accept anything less than that. And yes, be harsh right now, because there are a lot of mediocre and reasonable and average things out there, and we need them for a lot of things. And of course, don't throw out your wardrobe. You need those average pieces so you won't walk around naked. Obviously, that's fine. But to set your favorite, it has to be something that sparks you joy. Like Marie Kondo, she was on point, on my opinion. Whatever makes you feel the tingles. Oh, this is the one. Like, it's the one that makes you smile. The one that is like, yeah, I feel great. I feel $1,000,000. However, it is the expression that comes to mind. But you got it. You know, that tingles. I feel myself. That's the one. Those are favorites. Mark those. Cherish those. Keep those. Take care of those. Because those are your winning outfits. Bam. And they can be in many categories too. You know, who knows? It might be just your average uniform day to day. They could be evening out. They could be work. They could be in many categories, because you might find them in many categories, and that's even better, because then you have a lot of them that you can reproduce and multiply with. And once you finally found your winners, your tingly outfits, that sounds like a little weird, then you have to take a look at your wardrobe. So why are those pieces favorite? What do they do for you? You know, like maybe it's because it's the whole package, ideally it is, and then you can start identifying, you know, the pieces. As I said for myself, I like the tight tank top with the high waist mini skirt, right? Fitted A-line skirt, perfect. So I like this because of this characteristics. So where else in my wardrobe can I identify those pieces? And maybe I have pieces that are incomplete, you know, they're halfway there. Color is something that is a little harder to change. You might be able to if you into experimentation with, you know, dyeing, but some fabrics you really can't. They have patterns and all the things, so it's an adventure. But sometimes if it's a little bit of the fit, so maybe it's a little loose here, maybe I can, you know, shorten the hem a little bit, and then I have a mini skirt. And then you can start changing your wardrobe into something that you can work with, because it's not practical for me to tell you just throw everything you don't like away. I know Marie Kondo says that, but she also realistically says in some episodes when people ask her that sometimes things don't spark you joy, but they are extremely necessary in your life. It's another type of joy. It's like scissors don't spark me joy, but I need them. You know, I'm not throwing them away. Some things are just very practical, utilitarian, and in this case, you don't want to walk around naked, I suppose. But just going, you know, wild guess that you don't want to walk around naked is that you will have to keep some stuff, because you have an X amount of clothing to make you through one laundry day to the other, right? So don't throw everything away, and also think about and reflect what pieces you can change and tweak a little bit to make it into your perfect pieces, because those might right now be worth nothing to you, but with a little bit of work, they might turn into one of your favorite pieces. It happened to me. It can happen to you too. And of course, color is always very important. Doesn't matter if I'm talking about jewel tones or neutrals, doesn't matter. You have to analyze in your wardrobe, what do you like, which ones you gravitate to, and which ones match to, right? One of the biggest things I took out of one of the personal style courses that I did, that was excellent, really, from Andrea Adonescu. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but she's in YouTube, she's great, is that at least focusing on all your pieces in your wardrobe being warm or cool, it's such a game changer, because from there, you know that if you have everything from neutral to cool, when I say cool, I mean even your neutrals, they have to be a little bit from the neutral to the cool side, or to the neutral to the warm side. If you have consistency in the colors, if everything, doesn't matter if you have 30 colors, different tones in your wardrobe, if everything is in one side, it will most likely match well. Yes, I know it sounds insane, but it does. It creates some kind of coherence and more harmony. There are places where you might, if you're very creative and adventure, when we're talking about style, that you might want to use warm colors with cold colors, and that's completely okay, and that's very fashionable. It can be very fashionable, but that will make something pop a lot. So if that's not your style, if you're more like a casual person and you don't want to get too much attention, try to go for everything in one of those two categories, and it will make your life so much easier. If you are wearing mostly cold colors and then you introduce something very warm like an orange, the orange will pop so much, everyone will look at it, which can be great and could be bad. So analyze it, and that might be one of the reasons you might not be liking some of the pieces in your wardrobe. It might be the color, it might be something else, but just giving you a tip that happens a lot. Try to stay in one category. And of course, analyze the body shape you're creating with these outfits. Maybe for me, I like fitted outfits. I like, sometimes one piece can be very baggy or more squarish, never the whole outfit. I hate myself when that happens. Like I feel frumpy. I don't like it. I like tailoring. Tailoring is extremely important to me and to make myself feel confident. So analyze what's your case. Maybe you're the same as me. Maybe for you it's exactly the opposite. Maybe you're in between. Doesn't matter. Analyze, where do you fall on these categories? All fitted, kind of loose, or you want always a match, or you want everything very baggy, very loosey. There's no right or wrong. Whatever you feel good. And when you look at yourself, at your images, do you feel good? Do you feel good? When I say attractive, is attracted to yourself. Like it's no pressure, right? Like, do you feel like you're conveying the image you want? That's the key. And all of that happens before buying anything, okay? I'm not telling you to buy anything, not yet. If you do that before all the analysis, your wallet is gonna complain. It's gonna feel it, because you are not gonna be mature enough to do good choices. And that's the real thing. It happened to me. It still happens. Everyone fails. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but the thing is, if you don't analyze very well before you start purchasing, the chances of you buying wrong are so high, because you're not entirely sure of all the characteristics you should look for. So sometimes you're gonna buy something that's completely fit with your aesthetic, but it's not practical for your day, and you're never gonna wear it. Or vice versa, something that is very practical, but every time you look at the photos, you're like, I hate myself, I look horrible. And that's the thing. Take this time. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna make you save so much money on pieces that you're never gonna use, and it's gonna be there. Sometimes even with the tag on that you never use, like laughing at your face. Don't do that to yourself. And of course, all of that, as I was saying, has to fit your lifestyle. So if you stay at home the whole day and you never go out, you don't even like going out at night to dance, why do you have clubbing outfits? Leticia. Yeah, that's for me. No, but jokes aside, that is true. Like, we do that because some things are just our topic self. Oh, I want to be that person. Or some things are our past self. Like, I used to be that person. That's how it was for me. And some things are just cute and attractive, like I love sequins. So I want to buy sequins, but sequins have no place in my life. Or sometimes you love pink and Barbie is all trendy right now, but you hate yourself in pink. You never wear it. You never reach for it ever again. So why? Why would you do that to yourself? Spare yourself, spare your wallet, spare the planet, analyze and buy accordingly. So those are my tips for you today. I know it's hard, and I know it's a process, and I know we will fail many times until we get there. I'm not there yet. I'm still in a journey. I think I'm very well placed in this journey, like I've been doing that for a long time, but it still happens. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, I thought this piece would be perfect and it wasn't. Or sometimes I'm like, I want to trap again. I bought something for peer pressure just because I was there or just because it was on sale. And I hate myself. Why did I spend that money? You know, it happens. Be empathetic to your own self, okay? Not too judgmental. Analyze it. Learn with your mistake, okay? That's, I think, it's the biggest tip here. You don't deserve. You deserve a good wardrobe that makes you feel like a princess, like $1,000,000. I don't know what else, like anything, everything good. And thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. I would like to know if you are on a journey or if you want to start. Maybe you really averse to this idea. Maybe it's too much work for you. What do you think? What are your opinions on this subject? And most importantly, I hope you have an awesome day. See you next.